Right. So good morning once again for everyone. So as you can observe that I had displayed the IA question paper, second IA question paper, which we have written on Monday. Right. So it was a combination of the second module as well as the third module. So only course outcome 2 and course outcome 3 we were defined. So course outcome 2 you can observe that discuss the multi-carrier modulation technique based on the principles of OFDMA and SCFDMA and to analyze the multiple transmission and reception diversity. Right. So you have to understand this course outcome very clearly, right? Because course outcome is the one which will enhance your knowledge. Okay. So what is the final achievement? That is you have to observe. It is not the thing that what you have learned. Okay, it is what you have understood. That is the most important concept which you should remember. Right. So you can observe there is some particular pattern or some procedure we are following. Is it or no? So simply we have not started any topic for which there is no end. It is not like that. Okay. So earlier people were bothered about only giving some specific topics which will be useful, right? Now the position which you are in, the students what they are expecting is that they want to have the complete thorough knowledge about the subject which they are learning, and that learning should have some outcome. Okay, means what is the purpose, what is the use of that what you have learned? Because simply nobody will do, right? So wireless communication, when you have learned, and finally what is the next usage of that one, right? Whether I can implement in the real time, whether I can make applicable in my real time. So obviously all the subjects cannot be implemented in real time, right? Wireless communication is also that type. Why? Because in the real time the researchers or the manufacturers or the network providers, they will implement. Just a second. So in this wireless communication, you have got to understand the basic knowledge about what is a communication part. So here the outcomes what we have defined is that based on the modules which you are going to learn. So what we have discussed here is that we will just write here discuss. We will write here explain the overview, right? So these are the keywords. Okay. So there are keywords for remembering, there are keywords for understanding, there are keywords for building, there are keywords for design, there are keywords for analysis, right? So obviously all of you are doing the internship presentation or a mini project presentation or a project presentation, you are going to define some objectives, right? And most of you might have observed that your faculties or we will suggest you that you use these keywords and write it. Is it or no? So that is why in the objectives you are going to write to understand. After the completion of this project work, you are going to able, right? So to understand, to remember, to discuss, to case study, to analyze. So those are the concepts which you are going to write. That is why we define objective in a specific pattern. Okay. So we wanted to know that finally when you complete this one, what is you are going to achieve, right? And obviously in your presentation also you might have observed that you have said that you are going to implement this one, and in the implementation part you have not shown that one. So whatever your objectives you are defining, it should be attained. That is what we expect, similar to what we are doing in the regular class also, right? So here also the weightage is also given, is it or no? So we have 100 marks, right? For each COs we have to give equal weightages, right? So that is for module 1 40 marks, module 2 40 marks, like that. 5 modules are there, so 5 into 4 2200, because every time we will give and choice. So here also for the second module we have given 20 marks, and for the third module we have given 40 marks. These things we will not observe only. Okay, for student this is immaterial. Okay, but still why we have to give this? Because we have to tell that how much weightage we are going to give. Right. Now all these things you can observe that knowledge level K1, K2, K3. So you can see here during remembering how many K1 which is given, K2 understanding, K3 apply, K4 analyze, K5 evaluate, K6 create. So this creating and all those things in our syllabus it is not possible. Evaluation sometimes it is possible, but analyzing it is possible, applying the concept is possible, understanding the concept is possible, remembering the concept is possible. That is why we will tell here all the outcomes whichever they have specified. Okay, so that is how they are giving. See here I have written here derive, so that is why I have given it as K3. Right, explain, it is with respect to K2. K2 is nothing but your understanding. Right, this is just one overview which I am giving to you, so that it will be clear for you what is the content, because you have to understand the procedure how we are following it. Okay, there will be some K1 K2 which we don't know. If you tell this one, so what happens? Simply you are observing the questions and writing the things. But what purpose they have implemented this? What is the use of that one? So you will be not aware of those things. That is why you should understand everything properly. Because once you almost another 1 month or 1.5 month or 2 months maximum time, you will be start working in a company. So you have to understand their procedure, what is expected, right? How we have to report, right? How we have to present it. So how we have to meet the deadlines. So these are all things which you have to learn, right? Because every time when you are writing, there should be some purpose. Simply you cannot do, right? So these are the things which is there, right? So obviously module 3, right? So these are the questions which are there. So you can see that module 2 I had asked for what is array gain and derive the expression for this same, right? So we have written what is the array gain, what is the expression for that one. So if you all write, so you will be getting around 5 marks. Explain the principle of operation of the spatial multiplexing. So what is spatial multiplexing? That block diagram and explanation you need to provide. So you're going to get 5 marks. Explain the open loop and closed loop spatial multiplexing. So two loops are there. So each block diagram you need to explain. For explaining about open loop spatial multiplexing 5 marks, and to explain about the closed loop spatial multiplexing it is 5 marks, right? So that is how we have given allocated marks for that one. So obviously you will be knowing that for the block diagram it will be 2 marks. For explanation you will be having the respective marks. For equation there will be a marks, right? For expression there will be a marks. For neatness also it will be. For neatness and all those things it is orally we are dealing. But what in the examination is expected is the block diagram, explanation, right? Expression if it is there. So suitable marks will be allocated based on the means so content of the topic, right? Next we had given part B or part 2 or part 3. It is with respect to all CO3, right? So course outcome 3, where we have given for 40 marks, you need to answer for 20 marks. So that 20 marks also I have given choice. So explain in brief the radio interface protocols. So what are the different protocols you have in the radio interface protocol, like different channels which we have that you need to explain. So for each explanation, 3 marks will be allocated. Totally 10 will be allocated for this question. For fourth A, explain resource allocation and its type. So there are two types, type 1, type 0, type 1 and type 2. And what is resource allocation, that you need to explain. So it gives you 5 marks. Explain multicast channel. So that also a short notes type of a question. So you're going to get a 5 marks. Then for part 3, explain logical channel of LTE, explain frame structure and its type, explain the downlink physical layer processing. So these are all your questions which is been given. Okay. So this is how your IA have been framed. Okay. So this is a question paper which have been done. So by tomorrow or day after tomorrow, I will share the marks of this one so that you will be able to know how much you have scored. I am hoping that you have scored well. So when I evaluate, I will let you know. Okay. So coming to our topic, which we had started with the module 4. Right. So almost few topics I had covered. Right. So the topics which I had covered were with respect to the uplink shade channels, uplink control information. And we have to start with this random access channel. Right. So core information, what you have to understand here is that there are only two concepts, because wireless communication channel. So you will understand that you are going to build the or understand the technology used for transmitting the data wirelessly. Right. And in this communication channel, which are the topics present. So there are only two types which we call defined as a uplink and downlink. And during this uplink and downlink, we have three channels: physical channel, transport channel, and a logical channel. So that is a overview which we have present. And based on this category, the types of data which we have. Okay, so 5 types which we have is that alphabet, alphanumerical, right, audio, video, right, and image. So these types, how we are going to transmit. So obviously you should find a suitable path to select or to accompany you, so that your data will be reached to the destination. That is the important part what we are trying to assign. So that is why we are learning the concept of this mapping. What are the different channels available? What are the different speeds available? So how I am going to increase the speed, right? So what modulation technique I am going to use? So those technology only we are trying to learn here, right? So you can observe that we will be saying that we are using a quantitative amplitude modulation, QAM, right? We are applying quantitative phase shift keying, right? QPSK, quadrature phase shift keying, right? So quadrature amplitude modulation, right? So there are multiple ways of transmitting the data. So which is suitable, that you need to identify, right? Obviously the device now are so much high end, or what we call advanced stages. So automatically it will do everything. Okay, so now you observe that Wi-Fi hotspot. So if there is a network connection or anything, for 5 seconds or for 10 seconds, it will be in the loop. So if suddenly if any call comes to me, so what happens is network internet connection will be disturbed, right? So again what? Again I need to restart, right? So earlier we were having the facing these issues, but now we don't face any issues, because you will be having a standby time of 10 to 15 seconds. So within 10 to 15 seconds you are able to connect. So your process will be still in the continuing process, it will be not ended, right? But earlier on all those things, what happens, If suddenly if any interrupt comes, so it will be stopped and it should be restarted from the beginning. That is what we were trying to do. So obviously we have observed these all these things in the regular video also we have seen, and when I am discussing about the downlink also we have observed. So next part will be about your physical layers procedure which we are going to discuss. So what we have learned till now, so just I will just overview through this one. So this is a uplink channel and this is a downlink channel which we have. So uplink channel we have this different blocks. So obviously these blocks have been categorized into two sections. One section is your channel coding processing and one more section is your modulation processing. So again you have same thing, you have a check bits, you have a segmentation, you have a coding, you have a matching, you have a concatenation at the channel coding processing. And at the modulation processing, you have a scrambling, you have modulation mapper, you have a DFT based pre-coding, we have a resource mapping, and we have a finally signal generation, which is your signal carrier FDMA, frequency division multiple access. Same way we have for the downlink, right? So this, sir, what is the difference between earlier downlink channel and this downlink channel? See, downlink channel refers to, because we are having two types, okay? So how we are going to process your data, that is totally different kind of a thing, right? Now what I can give example is that I'm having a data which is of more than 25 MB, right? And this data I need to transfer to my friend. So what I do? So I have to use my WhatsApp. So when I'm going to use a WhatsApp, WhatsApp is a limit of 5 MB. So it cannot be transmitted more than 5 MB, right? So obviously I will go for the mail, right? So mail part I am going to use. There are been still many other like bulk transfer, or we have few apps which will transfer your data to there, right, to the destination. So earlier what we used to do is that there was no particular defining of a, so there was no drive available. Now you observe this drive and everything, it started recently around 3 to 4 years back. Not 3 to 4 years back, also only around 3 years back only this Google Drive link and everything started. Okay, so earlier if it is more than 25 MB, it was not possible to transmit. What I have to do is that I have to divide this 25 MB, more than 25 MB into lesser than 25 MB, and multiple mails I have to transmit so that all my data will be received. Okay. Otherwise, what I have to do is that I have to use a third party vendor who will transfer my data. Now, what procedure they were going to use is that, so they will build one storage capacity where they will tell that, so at a time you can transmit 1 GB of data or a 2 GB of data. So what I have to do is that I have to give to address, I have to give from address, I have to give all the content, and I need to upload, right? So once you start uploading the thing, right, then what happens? My all data will go and sit into the server, right? So the third party vendor server, it will go and sit, and that third party vendor, he will give access to the destination to download that data. That is the process. Now it was done by a third party vendor. Now what happened? The Google people, they only started to store your data and to transmit their data. Right. So whenever it is more than 25 MB, automatically your data will be stored into the drive, and you are going to get a link, and that link you are going to share with the receiver, and you are giving an option of editing or reading. Right. So that is the process which we have to do. And that concept only we are going to learn in this uplink and downlink part. So when I am downlinking the thing, so what mapping or what resources or which link or which layer it is going to identify. So those things only we are trying to observe the things. Right. So maybe in the computer communication network, so you have a data, you have a CBR, constant bitrate CBR, but these things you are giving to an agent, like a TCP agent or a UDP agent, which will carry your information to the destination, right? So that is the part which they will do, and those part only using this technology, the wireless communication, we have to identify which mapping or which thing which, because now when you are learning this concept, what happens is that when I send a data, if it is lost, so you should be able in a position to identify where the data has lost. Right. The concept is what? How you have lost the data. Right. So at what point you have lost the data? How much you have lost the data? So who is responsible for losing the data? So those things should be debugged, right? Or identified. So what I wanted to know this one, so I should be know what is the available things present here. Right. So from which point to which point it has lost. So what is the use of this debugging is that you can continue from where you have left it. Right. Earlier, that is what I was telling to you, that if suddenly an interrupt comes, so this connection is lost. So again, I have to rebuild, recorrect to you, and ask you to join once again. So then what happens? It will be a huge task. Now you see this link which I'm going to generate. So every week I'm not going to build a unique link, right? So one link which I have scheduled for every week. So by default, I can make use of these things, right? So if I go to this chat section, if whatever message I have typed here, so everything it will be recorded. So you can observe that how many times, which day, what is the, everything it will be stored here. So it is making a stack of all information in this link, who was started, when it was started, what recordings I have done, any contact message is there. So everything it is already stored into this one, and it will be available. And this will be available only for 28 days. Okay, after 28 days what happens? Again it will be flushed, right? So all your data will be erased. So that is what I'm telling, that in this chat message, if you want to observe that, you will be knowing whatever information we had placed, right? So these are only the observation point what we have to understand. Okay, but technical content, what is available there, that we need to observe. Okay. So this is what channel coding processing. So channel coding processing, what why we do is that for every data we are going to identify with a header and a trailer, so that it will be very easy for the decoding. Okay. So example, if I take a post office, so post office based on area, it is going to allocated with the pin code value, right? So if I tell pin code 54, so from the Majestic, it will be very nearer. If the pin code is 124 or 134, so you can observe that from the Majestic, the distance is very high. If the pin code is 01, so it will be very nearer. So you will come to know that by identifying the pin code, what is the distance from the Majestic. Okay, if I tell 24, if I tell 20, if I tell, because all are related with this, how this pin code they have generated, it is not based on the availability, or it is not based on the, this is my lucky number and all those stuff. So they have calculated between all the bits, what they have taken the distance, right, and they have measured it, right, and that is how they have calculated. Now you take about the, when you are traveling also, they will put the kilometer, right? So they will write 100 kilometer left, 40 kilometer left, so 20 kilometer left for the Bangalore, so 5 kilometer left for the Bangalore, so 1 kilometer left for Bangalore. So 1 kilometer afterwards, what they will give 0 kilometer and everything. So 1 kilometer left from which point? From Bangalore point, or which location they are going to make it as a reference signal. So the reference signal will be with respect to the Vidhan Soda, or it will be with respect to the Majestic. Right? That is a central part of this Bangalore. From that point, they will measure the kilometer and that will be displayed. Right? So that is the thing what we have to observe here. Right? So here also for every channels, for every block. So you are going to identify this carrier cyclic redundancy check, right? So CRC check. So for your block, it is going to identify, and these block are going to be released into the channel. And finally, when it is reaching to the destination, so these channel or the block code will be arranged in the ascending order so that it can extract the information, right? So that is the use here. So obviously, sir, whether it will be looking like exactly like this one, exactly it will be not like this. It is in the high level language. Still, it will be in the binary format. Maybe in the hexadecimal format you can observe, right? So in the computer always it will be like 0001111 all those things. It will be the DOS command, right? So that we will not understand. So if you want to understand, then obviously you should start working on the technology or with that software which you'll be able to understand, right? So that is what we need to understand. But what we are learning in this theory part, it is just giving an overview how it will be and what components it will be present, right? So channel coding processing, so you will be knowing what when you are telling coding processing, so you have to know what is the rate, right? And which scheme you are going to observe. So this is a turbo coding scheme. The channel which is used is the upper link shared channel. So ULSCH having a code rate of 1 by 3, right? Whether you are able to change this data rate and all those things, it is dependent on what availability it is present, so that you are going to use. But default the value of coding rate will be 1 by 3, and it will be using the turbo coding for generating the code words for your upper link SCH. Okay. So coding scheme and coding rate for the uplink control information, right? This is for transport channel and this is for the control information. So obviously when I speak about a processor, we have only two things. One is data bus, one is control bus. So control bus you will give a command and data bus you will transmit. So before I transmit, I should make sure that everyone are present or not. That is what I do. So I will give a command that who are present here, I will wish them, so that you will come to know that I am starting my information. So when I say good morning and all those things, it is understood that now I am going to start my lecture. And once I tell thank you and all those stuff, so obviously I am going to tell that I am going to end this session now. So these things are there present. So here also we follow these types. We have a control information and we have a transport information, right? That is what we are trying to analyze the thing, right? Modulation process. So it is going to be used SCFDMA with a parallel to, because modulation process why we have to follow is that we have to increase the frequency to reach to the destination, and we are following multiple ways to reach the destination. So you are going to use the serial to parallel converters or parallel to serial converters, and your data you observe that when I'm speaking it is in analogous nature, right? So it is in one domain, so that will be converted into the digital values, right? So we have a time domain expression, we have a frequency domain expression. Maybe in the communication system you have given expression m of t. M of t is am cos 2 pi fmt plus or minus y. Now that m of t you are converting into a frequency domain by applying a Fourier transform. So you are going to get m of t as m of del of f plus fc, del of f minus fc. So you are telling at which location it will be there, at which location it will be negative frequency or upper bound frequency or lower bound frequency, positive frequencies, imaginary frequencies. You are going to calculate what is the amplitude of that one, because time domain you are having it is just like a high level language. Frequency domain it is just like a low level languages. So low level languages you will be having only two values, either a 0 or either a 1. So 0 representing no information, 1 representing information. Now here 1 it is with respect to the amplitude. So we are calculating only the amplitude, right? So when I am transmitting information I will see how much power it is present. and the receiver I am going to say how much power it has received, right? So I am going to compare these two and I will tell that whether is there any loss or not. So these are all observation you can observe in this modulation processing also. So there is a time domain, there is a frequency domain, right? Again it will be converted into a time domain. So this is the thing which they have followed, right? So next about is here shade channels, uplink shade channels. So you can observe that physical layer, physical channel you are having, physical uplink shade channel, right? Transport you are having your uplink shade channel, and logical channel you are having these three types, right? Fear with respect to the shade type, fear with respect to the data, fear with respect to the transport. So we have multiple types. Why these logical channels are present? Because logical channels are just like your TCP agents and UDP agents. Okay, so TCP agents are specified for transmitting certain type of data, right? But it will support your what transport channel. Which one? Till that part it will support. See, I have written a letter. I have taken that letter to the post box. So my task is over, right? Now that post box, from that how it will reach to the main office, how segregation will do, how it will send to a train or vehicle. So from that how it is going to dispatch. So these all things I am not worried, right? So these all things I don't know, right? So what I know is that when I go to a post office, I will tell that you post this information or you courier this packet. So what you will do, you will put one sticker to that one and you will tell sir everything is processed, by 2 days it will reach to the destination, they will tell. So when he gives the tracking number, so what I do, I have to enter it to that portal, I have to give the tracking information and I will come to know. So it has entered into the Bangalore location. It has transmitted. Now it is reaching to the destination because you have a cameras which will identify all those stuff. Now those are nothing but these logical channels which are present. So this is the local office. This is a transport layer which I give, and these are the mapping part which is going to be transmitted, right? So these rate, what is the speed, what it will support, what is the amplitude modulation, all stuff it has been given here. See QPSK, downlink, user specific, 16 QAM, right, one third. So all this information you can observe with the uplink shared channels, right? Channel coding and modulation process. So same part, how much you bit it will support and all those things. So you have a downlink control information, you have a HARQ, hybrid automatic repeat request it is, which is nothing but getting an acknowledgement, right? So next part will be about your frequency hopping. So this frequency hopping we will be covering in tomorrow's session. Okay, so I'll just download the attendance. Okay, so this is all about this uplink channel which we have discussed. So we will take up this frequency hopping, then we will go for the random access channel, then finally we will end it with the physical layer procedures. Okay, another 7 to 8 classes is required for me to complete this module 4. So we are learning about course outcome 4, where we are the outcome is for learning the basic concepts of uplinking and learning the procedures of the physical layer. Okay, so this is from my end. So we will discuss all these things in the tomorrow's session. Okay, any questions, any doubts, anything you want to ask? And finally that internship date I have extended till 10th, and that 10th is the hard deadline. We are not going to change anything. Okay, and obviously you might have those who have not got vaccination, so you can register for that one and you can come to the college and have your vaccination. That is also facility provided. because maybe in the July ending or August 1st, they are you also all of you are observing the news channels also. They are telling that colleges may reopen. Okay, and they are allowing only for the people who are vaccinated, right? So they are trying for offline examination also. So obviously you are finally a semester without examination, they will not give you the degree certificate. So whether for lower semester it is present or not, but it is mandatory for the 8th semester student, they have to go for this offline examination. And for night offline examination you have to take up the vaccination also, right? So this is from my end. So if you have any questions I will take it, otherwise I will end it. So no questions. Okay, so I will take the attendance and I will close. Thank you.